Okay, fantastic. Hi, I'm Mark Chen, and this is
Ravi.
Right. We are presenting another episode of The Dream Machine, and today we have a really, really cool guest. His name is Aaron Pino, and he is the main guy at iBag. Tell us more about iBag, Aaron.
Thanks for having me, fellas. It's nice to be here. So iBag is a pickup and delivery dry cleaning platform. We operate nationally with an app where we take pickup and delivery orders from customers all over the country and pick up their dry cleaning, deliver it back to them after processing in our facilities around the country. So,
that's great. So, Aaron, it's very difficult to actually have a dream and then convert it into a real business, right? And we want to understand what was the dream all about? How did you get started? Tell us who inspired you for having that dream, and then how did you make it real?
Yeah. I suppose it goes back to like probably 2016, where my family's been in dry cleaning for like 30 years. So Dad has had a business that was in sort of Footscray in the west of Melbourne. It was a small little mum and dad dry cleaners. In 2001, he relocated the business to a bigger facility in West Footscray after purchasing another business as well. And at the time, the business sort of serviced dry cleaning customers in a very traditional way, which in Melbourne and a lot of Australia was through agencies. So that's like your little milk bars, news agents, repair and alteration shops where they would also offer dry cleaning services. So,
Right. So they could be your collection point for people who don't understand.
And you'd go out there and in your van, pick up and deliver. And often all the time actually, they take in the garments, they're responsible for checking things, pricing and all that sort of stuff. And they actually collect the money. So the problem for a lot of dry cleaners back in the day was, slow paying from these sorts of agencies or just not getting paid as well. I went to school and I'm a qualified chemical engineer, graduated uni, did the whole backpacking thing overseas, took a year to find myself and sort of came home and was like, oh, mum and dad, I want to come work with you guys. And they kind of promptly both had a heart attack and we're just like, the reaction I got from mum in particular was like, we didn't work so hard to put you through school so you could go to uni, get a nice desk job and work in an air-conditioned environment instead to come and work at a dry cleaners. Hence why I'm in shorts. It's always nice and warm.
You're dry cleaning your pets.
Well, it's nice and warm.
Summer all year round in the dry cleaners, Mark. So, yeah. One of the benefits. But so I did all that and told them I wanted to come in and work with them. And then out of that was born sort of this idea that we can't keep doing things this way. We have to move with the times. So I got the idea to build the app sort of in 2016, looking at what else was on the market. There was no software really at the time that would allow dry cleaners to do that well. I took the time to produce like a massive sort of document of what I had in mind, looking at what was available and what wasn't available. And this was literally just born out of my brain to say, hey, this is sort of something we need to do. And that happened to be coupled with just a moment in time where Dad had the opportunity to purchase a small pickup and delivery brand that was operating in Melbourne at the time. And Dad said, hey, Aaron, I'm thinking about doing this. And I said, hey, Dad, put this together. I've got this idea and let's put them together. And that was kind of how it started.
Well, okay. I've met your dad, Nick, right? Okay, look, between you and me, he seems pretty proud of you. Yeah. I mean, you say he was shocked. Maybe he was shocked at the start, but now, isn't it like
if I had, like at the time, I'm sure Dad had an element of probably maybe some relief that someone would come into the business and help as well.
Yeah.
Dad's always been a bit of a visionary. Like to build what he's built within Melbourne is pretty unique.
Yeah.
Our facilities would be one of the best in the state.
Yeah, I've been there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
so apples don't fall far, you reckon?
No, definitely.
So, but Dad, he's got a old school sort of just different mindset of sort of build it and they will come. And that might have been true once upon a time, but you guys, you work in the digital space, you know really well, unless you're out there in front of people, often they don't see you.
That's actually a really cool story, isn't it? Like like Nick's taken it to where he took it, right? Because we are all products of our own time, and you're only as you can take it to where you hand it off, right? And the fact that you were there to pick it up, I think that's a really cool story to tell them.
But just before it all got started and became real, I think you were looking at all the different things that are available out there and how you can modify that to fit what you wanted to do. And what was the complexity and how were you doing that?
It's really funny because it's actually not until I sit down and get to talk and do this sort of thing with you guys that I actually have the opportunity to reflect on all this, because you're in the cut and thrust of the day and you're just thinking about what's next. It's the whole project, like, yes, there was a vision, but the initial sort of stimulus and spark point to go away and design this concept of a software platform which had an app and a driver delivery app and all the other stuff was literally because our software provider at the time, and there are just off-the-shelf providers for software in our industry, refused to build credit card integration in Australia. And
is it because what was it a technical issue, or was it just a psychological?
It was a lack of demand. Oh, we've got it in America, but there's if you're going to do it, it was some ridiculous amount to get that. And at the time, I was like, man, this is just to build credit card integration.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous, which prompted that. And then we went and looked at what else was available sort of off the shelf, and nothing really sort of ticked the boxes, if you like, as far as what would do the job. So the idea was then to go and build something custom, which was scary.
Always scary.
Yeah. And
how did you sell it to your dad?
Well, so I self-funded. I didn't have to sell it to him.
Really?
Yeah. So
you did proof of concept and went, hey, Dad, look what I built.
So I had the idea, a scope document. So, and Ravi has seen this scope document firsthand. He was there when it was produced. But it was a case of having an awesome wife who supported me in a vision, which at the time, you've got Think and Grow Rich down there. We're both subscribers to that philosophy and have both read the book. And Anna was like, yep, if you got this idea and you think it's going to work, I'll support you. So we literally borrowed against the house to fund that first phase of development. Got that sort of MVP. It's probably phase one was more than an MVP.
Phase one was already pretty decent product.
Yeah, it was fit for market, right?
It was, yeah. Phase one started running what was soon to become a national brand. But that idea of building that, getting over that initial hurdle, and then sort of approaching different sort of people to build it for us. I had absolutely no sort of experience in doing that. But
were you scared at the beginning? Like when you started this, you mortgaged, you borrowed against your house. Were you scared?
Quietly shitting myself would be one way to put it. Yeah, hopefully that's okay on the podcast.
No, I think
real.
It's real. Okay. I'm just going to jump in, right? I mean, at this point, I resonate with that because I Ravi built my platform. And this is a cool part, I think, with Ravi. You pretend you're not in the room. Okay. There's a cool part about building with IOTASOL. Everyone else wanted exactly right. They wanted to build me some shoestrings, bootstrap, thing that was not fit for purpose. Yeah. For the same money, I could build something that was enterprise level from out of the box. I mean, that's not very many. Yeah. Did you find many people that would?
Well, this is the thing. When we went to sort of market to get some tenders and that sort of thing, I had the original approach, actually, if you remember, was we were talking about building an integration into another piece of software out there in our industry that was kind of doing what we already wanted partly. And Ravi had sat down and sort of looked at it and was like, why don't we just build the whole thing ourselves? And then you've got control from day one. So that was a large part of making what we've got today a reality. But we had other people that like just ridiculous quotes. And then I remember one guy in particular when I went to him and said, it's like kind of out of our budget, like I can't afford to go with you, sort of thing. And his immediate response was, "I will just take a percentage of the company."
Yeah.
Take some equity in,
So
to offset some of the costs.
So you believe in the business, and yet you want to charge me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, and you kind of want something else for the privilege. Like I'm like, you clearly see something here. No, I don't.
You get a Jaws theme song start.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. The whole shark thing, absolutely. Like, yeah, I couldn't believe that, the audacity to do that.
But at the same, so yeah, exactly.
So yeah, to get someone who was like so grounded, like Ravi, come along and sort of counter pitch an idea of, oh, we could do it this way. Yeah, that was refreshing. And like, yeah.
Okay. And where is business now? Like, tell us a little bit about what is going on, how busy is it? Is it growing and so on?
So yeah, it's been an interesting sort of time in the dry cleaning and laundry industry post-COVID and during COVID. So we launched iBag in its app sort of state, I suppose, in February 2018. And then sort of 18 months or so trading, and then sort of COVID hit. And that really put the clamps on growth really, really quickly.
For people who weren't getting their clothes dirty.
Well, yeah, no one's going out, all that sort of stuff. No one's in the office. And now the trend, particularly in Australia, like we're in Melbourne here, so one of the most locked down states or cities in the world, the effects are still ongoing here in particular. Work from home is very much still a thing.
Yeah.
The whole events calendar and stuff is now sort of back on track and all that sort of thing. Our industry is really heavily, and it's driven by events. Like in Melbourne, like as soon as footy finals and spring racing starts and the sun comes out, bang, dry cleaning starts to increase. And that's our sort of heads through to our peak period. So we've kind of resumed normality in that area. But with iBag, I suppose we noticed a trend for a little while coming out of COVID where we were kind of, the business was growing and there was more sites that we were servicing, but we were kind of getting less work from those sites. And where guys in particular might have dropped in 5 or 6 shirts, it became 3 or 4 shirts, and the suit was dry cleaned once every 2 weeks. And that's the sort of pattern I noticed. However, having said that, like coming out of COVID and sort of 2022, iBag's experienced really pretty consistent growth. It's probably been about 20% year on year for the last few years. We're now a completely national brand.
That was my next question. You've gone national, right?
Yep. So yeah, in Melbourne and Sydney, we've got our own production facilities. And in the other cities, so Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, and Canberra, we employ a dry cleaning partner and they do the work for us. But the important thing is it's all backed by the technology that Iodisol built for us, where we're all running the same platform. Everyone's receiving bookings in the same way. We've been able to do integrations with other bits of technology all over the country, which
seamless.
Yeah, and it's given us opportunities to do work that other dry cleaners just don't have the capacity to do.
Yeah.
Because we're a technology company as much as a service provider.
Yes. I can see that now you own the top of funnel.
Yeah.
Right. Nationwide. I think that is really smart.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique business model in our industry. That's for sure.
And owning the top of funnel, basically, you're bringing in all the work internally, and then you're basically delivering it. And having your own facilities actually make it very suitable and running it very smoothly, because you're not dependent on any third-party suppliers to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Managing quality, like again, you're only as good as the product you deliver. So the technology is great. We can get in front of as many people as we want to or need to, but you got to be able to deliver if you want them to come back.
It's a massive pain point, I mean, okay, you're right. I was looking back at my own dry cleaning usage patterns, right? When COVID, it was tracky dacks and hoodies. I mean, I didn't.
Who needs to get them dry cleaned?
To get in.
And where from now? Like, where is Fresh Paws heading from here now?
Yeah, so iBag is a product in its own right and a business, but FreshPOS is the software that runs iBag, and that's another business which has essentially been born out of all this. And I suppose the next step is really we're trying to basically provide what iBag does and give other dry cleaners the opportunity to build their own. So we're now reselling the software and white labeling the software. So why shouldn't anyone be able to do that and not rely on third-party providers which are coming into the market, people developing apps, and then just outsourcing to dry cleaners? Often the dry cleaner gets a commission which is less than sort of appropriate for the work that they do. So,
but I have always had this question in my head. Don't you feel scared that somebody, when you're selling this technology out to another dry cleaner, won't they eat into your market share sort of a thing?
It might. They still need to be able to back up the service element of it, but there's enough out there for everyone, in my opinion.
I think that's a really good way of looking at business, right? Because I mean, you're not going to get all of the dry cleaning business in Australia, right? There's some people who just prefer their local guy or their own guy, and why not? By servicing the local guy or the regional guy, you're still getting a clip of the business.
It's exactly right. And like local mum and dad dry cleaners now, that whole build it and they will come attitude that my dad had, like they need to be getting out there and getting in front of people. And pick up and delivery, we were having this chat before we sat down and had a talk, that like being able to get out there and get the business is as important these days as people coming into the shop. So,
yep,
dry cleaners need an easy way to access that technology.
And is there anything inspiring, and why? What do you want to tell the future generation how they can build new things in the future? What is the right thing that they need to be looking for and doing?
Yeah, I think they need to develop like a inner confidence that they can do that. So read books,
mortgage outs.
Yes, I don't know if I necessarily encourage that,
but you believed in it.
You got to believe in your idea, and that's what I'm saying. Like reading books and getting that self-confidence, and if you've got an idea, get some ideas from the market or get it, test it, make sure it's going to be viable, and then you got to go for it, and you got to kind of go hell for leather and invest in it and be committed, because if you go half-assed, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's like you can't be half pregnant.
Yeah. You know, okay, you have to get full pregnant. Okay, true. That is true. Yes, it's okay. You can't have half babies. Yes.
But yeah, you got to commit to it, and you got to invest the time, the effort, the energy, money if necessary. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for sharing your story, man. It is a big story that you're sharing, and I think future generations will get inspired by it.
It's a great story.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you.